Imagine waking up tomorrow to discover that everything you have ever known has disappeared. Your father is dead, your family has been abandoned, your friends have vanished, and the people who once swore loyalty to your blood now leave you alone on the endless frozen plains of Mongolia. There is no food, no shelter, and no hope. Every breath of the icy wind reminds you that death is only one mistake away. Most children would have accepted their fate. Most children would have disappeared into history without anyone ever knowing their names. But this child refused to die. He refused to surrender to hunger, fear, and despair. The little boy standing alone on the empty steppe would one day become the most feared conqueror the world had ever seen. His armies would ride farther than any empire before them. Kings would surrender before they even saw his soldiers. Entire civilizations would tremble at the sound of approaching horses. His name would become a legend that survived for centuries. That boy's name was Temujin, and this is the incredible true story of how he became Genghis Khan. Temujin was not born a king. He was born into a world where only the strongest survived. Around the year 1162, on the endless grasslands of Mongolia, a baby entered the world with a blood clot in his tiny hand. According to an old Mongol legend, this was a sign that the child was destined to become a great warrior. His father, Yesugei, was a respected tribal chief who believed his son would grow into a fearless leader. He named the boy Temujin after a defeated enemy warrior, hoping the name would remind him that victory belonged only to those willing to fight for it. As a child, Temujin learned to ride horses almost before he could run. He practiced hunting with a bow, survived brutal winters, and grew up believing his father would always protect him. But fate had already chosen a different path. Far away, enemies were waiting for the perfect moment to destroy everything his family had built. Soon, one deadly decision would change Temujin's life forever. When Temujin was only 9 years old, his father made a journey that seemed completely ordinary. He was arranging his son's future marriage, a common tradition among the Mongol tribes. On his way home, Yesugei stopped to eat with a group of travelers. He did not know they belonged to the Tatars, one of his oldest enemies. At first, they welcomed him with smiles and food, but once they recognized who he was, they secretly mixed poison into his meal. Yesugei managed to ride home, but every mile drained the life from his body. Before long, the powerful warrior who had protected his family could no longer stand. As he lay dying inside his yurt, he called for his young son. Temujin watched helplessly as the strongest man he had ever known took his final breath. In a single moment, the boy lost not only his father, but the only shield standing between his family and a ruthless world. He had no idea that the worst was still to come. After Yesugei's death, everything changed overnight. The men who had once ridden beside him no longer saw Temujin's family as leaders. Without a powerful chief to protect them, they became a burden. One by one, the warriors packed their horses, gathered their weapons, and prepared to leave. Temujin's mother begged them not to abandon the children, reminding them of the loyalty they had once sworn to his father. But no one listened. Within hours, the tribe disappeared across the horizon, taking nearly all the livestock, food, and supplies with them. Silence filled the empty camp. Temujin stood frozen, watching the last riders vanish into the distance, realizing that no one was coming back. His family was now completely alone in one of the harshest places on earth. Hunger arrived first. Then came the freezing nights, wild animals, and the constant fear of rival tribes. Every new day became a battle simply to stay alive. But while the world believed the boy had been forgotten, destiny was quietly preparing him for something far greater than anyone could imagine. With no tribe to protect them, every single day became a struggle for survival. Temujin, his mother, and his brothers searched the endless grasslands for anything they could eat. They gathered wild berries, dug up roots hidden beneath the earth, caught fish from icy rivers, and hunted small animals whenever they had the chance. Hunger became a constant companion. Winter brought freezing winds that seemed to cut through their clothes, while summer offered little relief from exhaustion. Yet, something extraordinary was happening inside the young boy. Every hardship made him stronger. Every day without food taught him patience. Every challenge sharpened his instincts. While other children dreamed of safety, Temujin learned to survive with almost nothing. The harsh Mongolian steppe was becoming his greatest teacher. The world saw only a poor, forgotten child. But the wilderness was quietly shaping the future leader of an empire that would one day stretch across continents. Survival alone was not the only challenge facing Temujin. As he grew older, hunger was slowly replaced by something even more dangerous: conflict within his own family. Resources were scarce, and every meal meant another difficult choice. One day, a bitter argument broke out between Temujin and his older half-brother, Bektar. The disagreement was about far more than food. Bektar had begun acting as the head of the family, making decisions that Temujin believed threatened their future. Tension built for days until it finally exploded. In a moment that would haunt him forever, Temujin and his younger brother confronted Bektar on the open steppe. The confrontation ended with an arrow that changed everything. It was the first life Temujin had ever taken. The boy who had once dreamed only of survival now understood the terrible weight of leadership and the irreversible consequences of every decision. It was a dark turning point, but it also marked the beginning of the fearless determination that would shape the future of the Mongol Empire. Word of Temujin's growing determination soon spread across the Mongolian steppe, but not everyone wanted to see him succeed. One night, warriors from the Taichu tribe surrounded his family's camp without warning. They captured the young Temujin and placed a heavy wooden congue around his neck, a punishment designed to humiliate prisoners and prevent any chance of escape. Every step became painful. Every breath reminded him that his enemies believed his story had come to an end. They laughed at the young prisoner, convinced he would spend the rest of his life as a slave. But they underestimated one thing: his unbreakable spirit. Temujin carefully watched his captors, waiting for the perfect opportunity. Then, under the cover of darkness, he made a desperate escape. With courage, patience, and the unexpected kindness of a stranger who chose to help him instead of turning him in, Temujin disappeared into the night. That single escape would change not only his destiny, but the future of the entire world. Freedom gave Temujin something more valuable than safety. It gave him purpose. After escaping captivity, he understood that no man could survive alone on the Mongolian steppe. Instead of rebuilding his life through fear, he began earning the trust of others through loyalty and fairness. One by one, skilled horsemen, hunters, and young warriors chose to stand beside him. Many had been ignored by powerful tribal leaders, but Temujin welcomed them regardless of their family or social status. He believed that ability mattered more than noble birth, a revolutionary idea among the Mongol tribes. His growing band was still small, but it was united by trust instead of tradition. Together, they trained every day, riding across the endless plains, mastering archery on horseback, and preparing for challenges that lay ahead. Without realizing it, these loyal companions were becoming the foundation of an army unlike any the world had ever seen. A new leader was rising, and the steppe was beginning to notice. As Temujin's reputation grew, so did the number of tribes that feared his rising influence. Many leaders believed they could stop him before he became too powerful. They were wrong. Temujin understood that victory was not about having the largest army. It was about discipline, speed, and absolute trust between warriors. He trained his followers to move as one, riding across the endless steppe with incredible precision. Every warrior knew exactly where to be and when to strike. Instead of fighting for personal glory, they fought for each other. Small victories soon turned into larger ones. Tribe after tribe either joined his cause or accepted defeat. For the first time in generations, the divided Mongolian clans began to unite under a single leader. Temujin was no longer just a survivor. He had become a commander whose name was spreading across the grasslands. The dream of uniting all the Mongol tribes, once considered impossible, was slowly becoming reality. By the year 1206, something extraordinary had happened. After years of conflict, alliances, and determination, Temujin had achieved what generations of leaders had failed to accomplish. The scattered Mongol tribes, once divided by endless rivalries, gathered together for a great assembly known as the Kurultai. Chiefs, warriors, and respected elders came from across the vast steppe to witness a moment that would change history forever. As the gathering began, there was only one name that everyone spoke with respect: Temujin. His victories had earned admiration, but his leadership had earned loyalty. During the ceremony, he was given a new title, Genghis Khan, often understood to mean the universal ruler or oceanic ruler. It was more than a name. It marked the birth of a new nation united under a single leader. Standing before thousands of followers, Genghis Khan promised discipline, justice, and unity. Few realized that this ceremony was only the beginning. The world beyond Mongolia had no idea that a powerful new empire had just been born. With the Mongol tribes finally united, Genghis Khan turned his attention beyond the endless steppe. To the south lay the powerful Jin dynasty, a wealthy kingdom protected by massive cities, towering walls, and hundreds of thousands of soldiers. Many believed no army could break through its defenses, but Genghis Khan never fought wars the way his enemies expected. Instead of relying on strength alone, he relied on speed, deception, intelligence, and perfect coordination. His cavalry traveled incredible distances in just a few days, appearing where no one expected them. Small Mongol forces lured enemy armies into traps before larger units surrounded them from every direction. City after city fell as fear spread faster than the Mongol horses themselves. News of his victories crossed mountains, deserts, and rivers. For the first time, the great civilizations beyond Mongolia realized that a new military genius had emerged from the steppe. This was no longer a tribal leader. Genghis Khan had become a force capable of changing the balance of power across Asia. One of the greatest turning points in Genghis Khan's life began with a simple trade mission. The Mongol Empire was expanding, and Genghis Khan wanted peaceful relations with the powerful Khwarezmian Empire in Central Asia. He sent merchants and representatives carrying valuable goods, hoping to create a strong trading relationship. But instead of friendship, the mission ended in disaster. The Mongol envoys were killed after being accused of spying, and when Genghis Khan demanded justice, his request was rejected. To many leaders, this would have been a reason to retreat, but Genghis Khan saw it differently. He believed that disrespect toward his people could not go unanswered. He gathered his armies and prepared for one of the most ambitious campaigns the world had ever seen. Thousands of warriors crossed enormous deserts and mountains, moving faster than their enemies believed possible. The Khwarezmian Empire expected an attack from one direction. Instead, the Mongols appeared from places no one thought an army could reach. Once again, Genghis Khan proved that surprise and strategy could defeat even the strongest opponents. The Mongol invasion of Khwarezm became one of the most dramatic campaigns in medieval history. Genghis Khan's army moved with a speed that shocked everyone who faced them. They crossed harsh deserts, surrounded heavily defended cities, and used strategies that their enemies had never seen before. The Mongols did not depend only on weapons. They used intelligence, communication, and psychological warfare to weaken their opponents before the main battles even began. Many cities that believed their walls made them untouchable soon discovered that no fortress was impossible to overcome. As the Mongol banners appeared on the horizon, fear spread among kingdoms thousands of miles away. Stories of their victories traveled faster than their armies. Some saw Genghis Khan as a ruthless destroyer, while others admired his military genius and the organization of his empire. Whatever people believed, one fact was impossible to deny. The world had entered a new age, and the Mongols had become one of the most powerful forces on Earth. Even after conquering enormous territories, Genghis Khan never stopped expanding his empire. In the final years of his life, he launched another campaign against the Western Xia Kingdom. He was no longer the young warrior who had fought for survival on the Mongolian plains. He was now an aging ruler who had built one of the greatest empires in human history. Yet, his ambition remained unchanged. During this campaign, however, fate finally caught up with him. Historical records suggest that Genghis Khan died in 1227, but the exact cause of his death remains uncertain. Some sources mention illness, while others tell stories of an injury during the campaign. What happened in his final moments became one of history's great mysteries. His followers protected the secret of his burial place, and to this day, the location of his tomb remains unknown. The man who had conquered vast lands disappeared from the world as mysteriously as he had risen. But his story was far from over. His greatest legacy was only beginning. Genghis Khan left this world more than 8 centuries ago, but the impact of his life can still be felt today. From a forgotten child fighting for survival on the Mongolian steppe, he became the founder of the largest continuous land empire in human history. His armies connected distant civilizations, opened new trade routes, and changed the way cultures interacted across Asia and Europe. His story remains one of the most controversial in history. To some, he was a brilliant military commander who created a powerful system of laws and organization. To others, he was a conqueror whose campaigns brought destruction and suffering. But beyond the debates, one truth remains undeniable. Genghis Khan changed the course of history forever. The boy who was abandoned by his own people became the ruler feared by kings and remembered by generations. His journey was not a story of destiny given to him. It was a story of survival, determination, and an unbreakable will to rise above impossible circumstances. This was the true story of Temujin, the man the world would know as Genghis Khan. If you enjoyed this journey through the life of Genghis Khan and want to discover more incredible stories from history, consider subscribing to the channel. Your support helps us continue bringing forgotten legends, powerful leaders, and untold stories from the past to life. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next historical journey.